guys? It is Nintendo Fan 67 here, and I'm back with some more facts about the Pokemon characters. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at some interesting facts about Jigglypuff, as well as its evolutionary line, Igglybuff, and Wigglytuff. So you better stay awake for this video, because we're going to be taking a look at some interesting facts about them. So let's go! So here are some facts for the whole Jigglypuff evolution line. Alright, first up we have Igglybuff. Alright, we're going to be taking a look at some interesting facts about Igglybuff. So for Igglybuff's information, her weight is 1.0 kilograms, her height is 0.3 meters, she is a normal type and a fairy type, her abilities are Cute Charm or Competitive, or Friend Guard, which is its hidden ability. Her catch rate is 170, which is also 32.4%. It evolves into Jigglypuff when leveled up with High Friendship, which then evolves into Wigglytuff when exposed to a Moonstone. And for her entry, Igglybuff's vocal cords are not sufficiently developed. It would hurt its throat if it were to sing too much. This Pokemon gargles with fresh water from a clean stream. So it looks like Igglybuff has to be careful not to sing too much, or else she could hurt her throat. Now when it comes to Igglybuff being in the spin-off games, she's made 5 major appearances. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, well, Igglybuff only appears as a random trophy. And in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, and Igglybuff stars as the player character in the special episode Igglybuff the Prodigy. This Igglybuff is the unevolved Guide Master Wigglytuff from the main story, so that's pretty cool. And in Pokemon Stadium 2, Igglybuff appears in a quiz show styled minigame alongside Cleffa, a series of Pokemon parade across the screen, and the player has to count how many of the Pokemon species the player is instructed to count parade across the screen. The score is based how close the player is to the right number. So that is pretty cool that Igglybuff and Cleffa star in a quiz show. And for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, the special episode Igglybuff the Prodigy features the adventures of Guide Master Wigglytuff as an Igglybuff when he was younger. So that was pretty cool that Igglybuff told the pastime of when he was younger. And for Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, another Igglybuff appears at Serene Village as a friend of Badoo. Igglybuff will ask the player to make a delivery to Armaldo in order to make a connection. So it looks like Igglybuff has made a pretty good help in the Mystery Dungeon games. Now when it comes to Igglybuff being in the TV series, she's made 2 major appearances. So Igglybuff made its main series debut in Same Old Song and Dance, where twins appeared. They were owned by a girl named Brittany and were practicing for a concert. Jigglypuff was jealous towards the Igglybuff twins as they were stealing its audience. They were nicknamed Igglybuff and Jigglybuff. Those are pretty funny nicknames to give your Igglybuff. And an Igglybuff appeared in the Brocksters Inn under the ownership of Norma Jean. It was among the Pokemon poisoned by a group of wild Tentacruel. They were all saved thanks to Brock's Chansey and Soft Boiled. So it looks like Igglybuff needed that help from Brock. Alright, so here is Igglybuff's shiny form. So for Igglybuff's shiny, it turns a lavender color, which is barely hard to see because it might just be the same color as its original form. You can't even tell the difference if that thing is shiny, but I would prefer its Gen 2 shiny better than this one. And here is the QR code if you ever want to register her into Pokemon Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Oh, and here are some other facts that you didn't know about Igglybuff, is that Igglybuff is tied with Caterpie, Weedle, Magikarp, Carvanha, Attack Form Deoxys, and Stonejourner for having the lowest special defense stat of all Pokemon. So that was pretty cool. And Igglybuff has the lowest space defense of all Fairy-type Pokemon. Also, Igglybuff is tied with Cleffa and Morlul for the lowest base speed of all Fairy-type Pokemon. However, there is also a pre-alpha sketch depicts an unused Pokemon with the same Pokédex number as Igglybuff. So that's pretty strange, that it might be the same kind of person as Igglybuff. And Igglybuff and its evolved forms shared their category with Qwilfish and Drifloon, and they are all known as the Balloon Pokemon. So that's pretty strange that Qwilfish is also a Balloon Pokemon. But also, Igglybuff is a cool Pokemon, and she has some good facts after all. Way to go, Igglybuff!